Welcome back to Morning After, 10:46 here on this Tuesday morning. Thank you for joining us. And over the last couple of months, we've had a series of conversations we call A Seat at the Table with Bree Clark. And we've addressed those uncomfortable conversations we all need to have about race and racial inequality in America. The hope is to build a bridge and help our country heal. And these conversations, we hope, are happening all over the country. Bree is joining us this morning along with Melissa Tate, who's a food writer and blogger, to bring us some interesting perspective on this topic. Bree, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
You talk about not only learning from these uncomfortable conversations, and when we say that, these are conversations that those of us who are white are having with our black friends or our coworkers. You also talk about unlearning. What do you mean by that?
You know, for so long, you're a product of your environment. So basically what you learn from your family, what you learn from your friends, what you learn in the circles that you're in, sometimes they're not always right when it comes to racism, equality, identity, and things of that sort. And you don't have anybody in your circle that's different from you to tell you that that's not right, what you're speaking on, or you don't understand it. So it's a lot of unlearning when it comes to different subjects, when it comes to racism, identity, equality, diversity. So that's what I'm saying. You have a lot to unlearn because you've learned for so long on certain things. So unlearning and learning.
And we start as children to learn things that are false or stereotypes that aren't embedded in truth and so forth. And I love that you brought Melissa Tate along because she is white and she has a black son. And that lends itself, I think, to a very interesting dynamic and situation. And Melissa, I want to bring you into this conversation to talk about that because you have a son who's black and you're a white mom. And so when these issues have come to a head most recently with protests and so forth, what were some of the questions he asked you?
So my son is biracial. His dad was black, so he is my biological son. And so I think with him, we recently started having the conversations of him identifying as black. Whereas all of his life, I had raised him just as my son. I never saw him as white or black. And more recently, we have talked about the conversations that he identifies as a black man and how this affects him as a black man. And so that is what I have had to learn, is that I did not know everything about race. I did not know how to raise a black man. I didn't know that I was raising a black man. I was raising a biracial son that was my child, that I birthed him. And I've had to learn that I didn't do enough. I wasn't showing him his black culture. I didn't raise him going to a black barber. These are things that I didn't realize I hadn't done until we started having these conversations.
But what do they say? Maya Angelou said it, when you know better, you do better. And so
absolutely.
Right? And so you're starting off sort of a new chapter with him. And it occurs to me as I'm talking to you, what's wrong with him being all of that? All of his white heritage, all of his black heritage and culture.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I only gave him the white. I didn't give him the black. His dad passed away when he was young. I married a white man afterwards. He grew up going to a very white school. He had a lot of white friends. My parents are white. Their friends are white. My friends are white. I didn't give him that. So yes, you say exactly what all of my friends have said. When I tell them this, they're like, oh, but you did a great job. Micah's so great. Everything is fine. What's wrong with that? Well, what's wrong with that is that half of his DNA is from a black father. And I didn't give him any of that. I didn't raise him to know black culture or black history.
Yeah. Bree, when you hear that, I mean, that's progress, right? It's almost like...
Yes, it's so much progress.
Yeah,
this is why we're doing this. So we can have these uncomfortable conversations to get you to think a different way that you've always thought and then have those conversations with your friends and your family, like how she said that, oh, well, you did a good job, you're a great mom, Micah's this and that, and like, we know this, I was a great mom, I did this, but also I did a disservice by not showing him this part of his family and just bringing that on the table. And we wouldn't be able to do that, Ron, if we didn't have these uncomfortable conversations about learning and unlearning during this time.
Yeah, and it might be easy for her, easier, because there's a familial bond and there's a love there that's undeniable between a mother and a son. The challenge is having that with people we don't know as well, and we've never addressed these issues. So, Bree, I want to say thank you for being a part of this series. When we set out to do this, we wanted to address these very issues, and you've done a remarkable job. And we hope as this continues, we'll continue to touch base and continue the conversations, because they don't end today. TheAmanProject.com is where you can go for more information. And the blog that Melissa has written, she's entitled it Race Reconciliation, is really, really incredibly powerful. Hope you'll check it out.